There are millions of people living in today's world without the most basic of necessities: food, water, or an adequate home. While we are all so fortunate to live in America with its privileges and opportunities, people in third world countries are often given zero opportunity to succeed and are stuck in an endless cycle of poverty. When my family and I took a trip to Cambodia last summer, this is what we saw. After talking to some of these people and seeing the problems they face, we decided we could not just pass through as common tourists. We had to do something. Through a combination of our own initiative and some local help, we set up a well building project within our Bay Area community to fund the building of wells for the Cambodian people. These freshwater wells prevent rampant waterborne diseases that claim the lives of thousands of Cambodians each year.
I guess for me, the well project means a lot more than the obvious benefit of providing water, safe water for a lot of people in Cambodia. I think on a larger scale, though, for me as a parent, it shows how you can take a platform, call it water, and teach philanthropy to your kids. And the fact that both our children are learning to give to other people in the world and be an active participant in philanthropy, for me is the most important thing about this project. When we were traveling in Cambodia and I saw both of them taking ownership of this project in very different ways and enjoying it and seeing what that meant for them in terms of their own lives, it gave me a lot of pleasure that this project I think will have legs in future years.
The root of Cambodians' hardships date back to the 1970s when the Khmer Rouge took over their country. Led by the dictator Pol Pot, their goal was to rid the country of everyone who had an education in order to create their vision of an agrarian utopia. Ending up as a mass genocide, this regime is looked at as one of the biggest humanitarian disasters since the Holocaust. The following account of the Khmer Rouge regime is from a man we met in Cambodia last summer. He lived through the genocide at a very young age and is now helping us coordinate our project in an effort to help his country recover.
My name is Samban, and the nickname is called Sam. I'm from a village around 20 miles away from here, and I'm from a family of 11 children. But we are very sorry we lost 2 of them during the Khmer Rouge time. Pol Pot, the leader of the Khmer Rouge, sent troops to this town, to the city, and evicted all the people from the city, from the town, into the countryside. So then they closed everything down: the market, the school, the temple. It's a kind of cultural revolution. Khmer ruled the country for 4 years and killed a lot of people, at least 2 million people.
A really defining moment for me for this project was during our trip to Cambodia last summer when we visited this village. It was a very remote village in the Cambodian countryside. And as we were walking down the road, this monk came running up to me. And all he wanted to do was talk to me. He didn't want money, he didn't want water, food, anything. All he wanted to do was talk to me. Because in addition to being a monk, he was the village English teacher. And the one thing he wanted to do was better his English. And in talking to him, I saw how desperate he was, how hard he wanted to work just to improve his English, just to go to a university. That was his life goal, to go to a university. And he was so driven to do that, and he was so desperate, and all he wanted to do was to better his life and to succeed. And to see how much these people were willing to work really put what we were doing into perspective for me, in that I saw from a personal level how much the little things meant to these people.
After the Khmer Rouge regime ended, fighting continued in Cambodia until the mid-1990s. Since then, The country has been on the road to recovery, though the process is extremely slow. Their government is still highly corrupt, infrastructure has only recently begun to take shape, and poverty is still the #1 problem among the people. While there are many facets of poverty that affect Cambodians, the lack of clean water continues to be one of the most pressing concerns and is currently their #1 killer. Over half of all Cambodian deaths come from waterborne diseases such as diarrhea, cholera, and typhoid.
During our return trip to Cambodia, there was one experience that really kind of showed me specifically what we were doing to help, and it really changed my whole view on what we were doing. We were on this dirt road, and on the side of the road we saw a couple wells, and I thought, wow, this is really cool. And then we arrived at one specific well, and there was 2 kids, probably around the ages of 7, 6, and they were playing, and the well was pumping, and there was water, and they were under the well, and they were splashing around, and looked like they were having a lot of fun. They were laughing and smiling. But what really I noticed is that all the children I've seen before, they all looked kind of sad because they were working all the time, and so they looked very, very almost depressed. And these are the first kids that I've actually seen happy, and just to think that that was because they were playing in something that I helped put there really, really changed my view on the project.
To help fight this problem, we set up this well building project. The Wells Our Project funds provide water for 10 to 15 people for anywhere between 15 and 20 years. By talking with local villagers, we found that the people noticed a huge difference in their own health after they got clean water. These tangible results coming from our efforts push us to go further and reach out to more and more people. Through our fundraising efforts, we have funded approximately 110 wells throughout Cambodia and are hoping for many more in the months to come.
I think the most memorable part of our trip last summer was when we were driving down a dirt road visiting the wells that we had built the previous year, and we saw a whole village provided with fresh water from all the wells that we had built. There were about 50 wells in total for the village, and everybody for the first time had fresh water. And the wells were all in use and working properly, and people had built fences around their wells, and for the most part they were the nicest thing that everybody owned. And it's so exciting and empowering to learn that it's so easy for us in the United States, and it's so simple to help people so profoundly in other countries that really have nothing. And with so little effort and money and time on our part, we can give them what they need to help themselves.
This project has meant so much to our family. From seeing the country to meeting its people to actively helping them survive, this project is an occasion where we can all come together towards a common goal. The feeling of helping other people is extremely empowering to all of us, and we are proud to even play a small role in bettering the lives of others.